Welcome to Nascimento Marketing's 32 Blitz presented by Living Sport. Tonight is the final matchup of round 3, Florida versus Baylor on Madden 20. Let's get to today's guests. So it's going to be Ryan from Florida. Oh, we froze. Perfect timing. Hello? There, we're back. So it's going to be... Oh, I'm freezing. Here, I'm good. So it's going to be Ryan from Florida up top, Kenny from Baylor just below me, and me, Chris, right in the middle to complete the sandwich. But, yeah, that's good stuff. Let's get into today's game before we kind of get into anything. So, one thing that's been changing, it's kind of been changing throughout the tournament. Before we were doing 2 out of 3, just going to be one larger game today. And you guys can decide. You can either do random, like previous rounds, or pick whatever team you want. Here, who signed on first?
He did, because I accepted his invite.
Oh, it doesn't matter. So here, Ryan, heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads, you got it. It's the queen. Anyways, okay. So you pick any team you want, or you let Kenny pick any team he wants. But then you guys have to come within like 3 overall points of each other, so it's a fair matchup. Because
regardless.
Pardon?
I was gonna do that regardless. It seems like you want to play with Tampa Bay.
No,
Yeah, I'm gonna play with my Buccaneers.
Go for
I'm
it.
gonna play Tampa.
Is this like updated roster with Brady?
No, Tom Brady's not on the team. No,
No. I know you can update it.
Godwin.
no, you can't. Not online. You won't be able
Oh, true. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, Kenny, you pick whatever team you want now, because the only reason I'm doing this now, no more random, because now there's a little more on the line. We had like Penn State, I forget who, maybe against Maryland, and it was like LA Lakers versus the Magic. It was a blowout. There was no good for content. 4 billion people went home disappointed, but that's all right. Ryan, I know you've been playing FIFA throughout this tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the scouting report on Madden for you?
I've played a good bit. I've been playing more FIFA because I was having to prepare for that. But I mean,
Yeah.
Madden and FIFA are my 2 games that I normally play. I can't play anything else. So.
Yeah, Kenny, you're getting cocky here by going a few points below Ryan. Just kind of prove a point.
I'm not trying to prove a point. It's like the Browns matchup with the Buccaneers is really good.
Yeah.
Like I said, like the Browns, they have a really good roster. Their coaching sucks.
Yeah, that's why, Kenny, didn't you want to get in player development or coaching?
Yeah, coaching, but both actually.
Both, yeah. There you go. If Kenny wins this, he's the next head coach of the Browns.
Let's go.
Beat last time who he had, who I had.
Pardon?
You remember who I had last time I played and who I played against?
Yeah, he had the Ravens. I forget who you had. Who'd you have?
I had the Bills.
See, that's tough. But there were some weird things happening in that game too. No.
But I think honestly, it's like if you find the team that you like play with, or like maybe your playbook and like a style you play, it doesn't really matter. Like, whenever I play online, like I've played online and people playing with the 49ers, and most of the time I play with the Bucks, and I can still beat them because I mean they lean towards more of user. Like if you are like you kind of read a play and you're in the vicinity, you're gonna get an interception or stuff like that. So
That's
yeah,
like how football. It's like literally I said, like football is one of the sports where you can have star players, that don't mean you're gonna win. Like coaching really determines who wins football games. Basketball, you have the best stars, you're gonna most likely win.
100%. I think that's why I have a little tougher time with basketball. Love football, but I don't know why. Basketball I can get into, like behind the rafters, Canada's team in the playoffs, but it's tough, man. Like watching.
Come out the East.
I hope. I think the Bucks, they got something to prove for sure. My thing is though, I don't know how all these bubble tournaments are gonna go, or bubble seasons, because sometimes at the start of a season, some teams just come out hot, and they're just clicking while other teams need to like build that chemistry. So I'm wondering how this is gonna go for sure. Here, before we kind of get into anything here, now that I'm remembering something, and this might be good for both of you guys, maybe specifically Kenny though. I was on YouTube the other day, and a video came up, and it was basically this YouTube channel that wanted to help someone get their dream job during, these crazy times.
Mhm.
And even though they had a big following and, social media and YouTube, they didn't want to use any of their social platforms just to prove how easy it was to get your dream job if you actually just thought about it, sat down and game planned it. So basically they had someone who wanted to join what was it? I think it was a gaming company, but they're like pretty big into media as well and content. And they had the kid fly down, and they just helped him brainstorm ideas that he'd be able to use. So no big budget, nothing crazy, something he would have been able to film at home if someone was gonna Kenny, Ryan, or I were to do this. And he posted a tweet, regular following, and it just blew up. So basically he understood that the founder enjoyed content, video content specifically, standing out, showing his value, showing like, hey, like I'll come work for free, I'll get you coffee, or if you want, I'll like help make videos like this one. And it ended up blowing up, the tweet, and then just everyone in the gaming industry was sharing it. And he ended up getting interviewed for the job, but then COVID obviously slowed it down. But I think for just bringing it back to Ken here, if you want to get into coaching, maybe just kind of think of something like that where you kind of stand out, right? Where, especially just because of COVID, everyone wants to find that next big, like well-versed graduate of some sort that's gonna like put themselves out there rather than just saying, hey, can I get a job?
True. Like mine is kind of like it's a little bit difficult more because like there's no such thing as like you go to go to Tampa Bay Buccaneers website and apply. I want to apply to be the OC or I want to it's really all you have to know.
100%. But what can he do here? If we're thinking of Kenny specifically, maybe. So let's say you had a horrible team in front of you. What would you do to change them to kind of help improve and get things? Pardon?
It starts with, and like me being at Baylor, I got a chance to actually see that full hand with Coach Rule.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the first year,
Yeah.
we didn't win a single game. The first year Rule got here, we didn't win a single game at all.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, he takes us from not winning a game to 8-2, almost making the college football playoffs. And now you see where he's at now, obviously.
Do you work with the team over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
What do you do with the team?
I'm a student assistant. I mainly helped out with on-campus recruiting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how I knew about Prince.
Yeah. Yeah, I had some friends of mine through classes and I mean working, with the UF team too, like doing that. It was always interesting to hear. I mean, obviously I bet same thing for you. Those recruiting weekends are kind of hell just with all the, long hours. Like it's like almost like, obviously one of the more important parts of the job, but it's also one of the least like the part that you don't want to do almost because of like all the little things that you have to do.
Yeah.
What's here for me being Canadian and whoever ends up watching this on YouTube or Twitch later on? What's a breakdown you can kind of do here for a recruiting weekend? Like obviously in Canada, you can maybe do a visit, but it's not like some big show that you put on.
I mean, it's more about kind of like I don't know how to really put in. It's like yes, you want to show them why they want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
That's more about the real thing about recruiting. You have to, know their passion, why they play the game, what's going to get you to come here. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, they're real good with family. They don't want to go far. So if you're a far school, you want that kid, you gotta like incorporate a lot of family into, we're gonna try to make sure that your family can come to every single game, or things of that nature. It's everything's to the specific athlete.
Can you use like an example? Let's say you're recruiting me. Let's use myself as an example.
So are you on campus? I mean, is it a home visit? Like which one is it?
Is it a home visit? What does that mean?
And like you can be on a visit on campus. I can come to your house, come to a game.
Oh, on campus.
Yeah. You come on campus, obviously. So like I said, we have our protocol, what we do, the hotel room, if it's official visit, hotel room, and things of that nature. Like we have all that set up. And basically it's like showing the campus tour, That's one. I know Baylor. We have a lot of traditions. So that's and we also have our own like kind of like umbrella group. We call them Baylor reps, and they're like the ones that do the campus tours and all that other stuff. And then when they come to games on campus, they're like their chaperones and things of that nature. So give them a tour of campus, and then meet SACE, the student athlete career advisors, the people that help with the academics. Like, get a chance to meet, the whole team, anybody that you have any chance of meeting. So you have, like I said, coaches, academic advisors, nutritionists, strength and conditioning coach, basically everything that they're gonna be a part of is shown to them. Like this is all that's gonna be available to you and more. And then obviously like the extra stuff, like the photo shoots and stuff.
So that's kind of almost, man. That's pixelated. 1 second. That's almost like athlete marketing in the sense, right? Where you're realizing what's important to that player, kind of showing them that and trying to pull them, say like, hey, for instance, let's say it's like Nike or Adidas after the combine or at the combine, trying to get like a high pick with them. You're kind of almost selling what you have to them, right? That's what you're basically doing. So you'd probably have. Pardon?
Now that NCAA just passed the law allowing players to actually earn from their play like name, likeness, and image, that kind of could actually make recruiting even more horrific. Because now maybe somebody might get picked over someone else because they have a brand outside of them playing sports.
Oh, they'll make the school more money. Yeah.
Especially with like Florida, our governor or whatever signed a deal to like allow that starting. I think it was like maybe this like the following summer of 2021 or something is when that goes in effect, where like players in Florida they're just saying that they can benefit off of it. And I don't remember what the NCAA rule, but I mean, like that's gonna, for states that adopt that sooner are gonna be an advantage too, where some schools aren't. So like that's gonna help with recruiting. So it's just crazy.
For sure, especially if they end up making like a media hub almost for like, they have like, Kenny kind of touched on, I don't know what you called it specifically, but just that like student advisory for academics. If they end up making one of those for like media hub to help players to kind of build their brand and how to make a YouTube video, how to edit, all that stuff, I think that would for sure be interesting because those are like skills and tools players can add on afterwards and build on later on.
For sure.
Because to be honest, I saw this video too yesterday. If you have 1 million, let's say YouTube follower or subscribers, and then 1 million on Instagram, whatever, that's a business. Like,
yeah,
you have a loyal customer base there, so you can start selling something to them from there. So, being at a school like Florida or even Baylor, actually a bunch of these American schools that are on here, they'll have these huge presence in football or basketball. So if you end up making a name for yourself on the team, you can still have a crazy career afterwards if you don't go into the pros just from that platform you end up creating for yourself.
Right. And that's the thing. A lot of athletes do kind of struggle transitioning out of that. Not everybody gets to go pro.
100%. I was listening to a hockey podcast on my way to the COVID testing. Not that I have symptoms, just had to do it for the team. But what was it? It was a hockey player. He played well when he was in junior. So hockey kind of go to juniors and then you go to get drafted. And he was kind of set on, he was kind of a star in the league that he was playing in junior, but he didn't get drafted yet because he was kind of a late bloomer, and he already had a hydro job, so like an electrician or I don't know what you'd call it, but he working at the hydro plant once he the season finished, kind of go back to regular life, and then he ended up getting a break with the team, and now he's like made over like $60-70 million just because he ended up like going to a training camp. Which is just crazy because, what if he never got that call, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas now, like, let's say, I don't know, somebody goes to Baylor. Let's say he's like a third string tight end, gets in on some games, gets some touchdowns, things like that, gets his name on TV enough, and, maybe does vlogs behind the scene or, shows what it's like to be a football player that likes art as well or something. then he can have this whole like art sports following that ends up making him like a micro influencer.
It's funny how you mentioned that with majors and stuff, because my friend beside me, she doesn't want to acknowledge herself that she's here, but she actually basketball player in high school, could have went to college to play basketball, but because of the whole rigorous of being an athlete and they try to tell you what major you cannot do, she decided that she didn't want to go the route, and she actually came on an academic scholarship instead of an athletic scholarship, so she can be an engineer.
Wow. Wait, so you gotta back that up for me. These big schools can decide what's your major?
See, I'm saying that the side they want to limit so that you can take a class, like so you won't be dealing with hard classes, basically.
Also, you can perform better on the field.
About most athletes being engineers, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
And I mean, it's so hard. I mean, I've had, I mean, in some of my sport management classes, I've had some players, and even in grad school, the starting long snapper, we were friends for class in football, and like, there's so much that the players have to do that everybody talks about that the average person just doesn't see and just don't understand. Like, literally, they will have workouts at 6 a.m. to go lift. Like, I've had to be at the stadium at 5 a.m. before to set things up for a 6 a.m. lift. So it's like it's stuff like that like people just don't realize that, like, and you have to, and that's not the only thing. Like, on a regular day, you'll have a workout in the morning, and then they have meetings for like an hour or two before practice, and then they have a 3-hour practice if you include warm up and all that. So it's hard to do some of these things, and I've seen the stories of some of the players that have done that and like been able to do some like in crazy majors. I think Josh Dobbs, who was like a aerospace engineer, which was like insane to
Quarterback
like
too.
Yeah, as a quarterback and all the time they have to spend in the film and room and stuff like that.
But he's probably just a genius. And like not saying that a football player can like not be a genius and do that, but to study football and school so much, yeah, you have to pick up aerospace engineering pretty easily.
I think we had a mechanical engineer, Marcus Jones. If you look him up, he just graduated. He was a mechanical engineer for us, and he had a 3.9 GPA.
Wow, that's crazy.
And was getting play time.
That's nuts. And well, man, what was I gonna say here? Okay, so I have a buddy that he's a starting receiver at the top school in Canada for football. They actually have a guy on the Bucks that he got drafted by the Bucks. What was I gonna say here? Yeah, but he's a smart guy, right? Gets good grades, all that, and gets playing time. But because high school, he was star getting recruited. Then he went in Quebec. He go to CEGEP, and then he go to university. He's accounting major, but then he never really had that business experience until like his third year of university, because he always had training camps and things like that in the summer. So basically, if you don't end up making it, it's almost you're gonna finish school a little later because you have to extend your schooling because your fall semesters are so jam packed with training and lifting, like Ryan was saying. But then what happens? You don't make it, and you have a business degree, which is great, but it's probably harder to be 26 or 27 going to the world of business without any professional experience, you would say. Not him, luckily not him, but let's say a guy at Baylor, right? Or even that mechanical engineer. I'm sure he's probably a little older, right? Because he had to extend it. Did you get that?
That was a great play. I don't know how I don't know. That was just great coverage, because I swear that was a touchdown.
If I didn't press SWAT because I knew I wasn't going to intercept that. If I tried to intercept it, I don't think I would have got it. I've learned that like if unless you like are pretty sure you're gonna.
So Ryan,
you've seen it.
Ryan, what do you got here? Is there a comeback in the works? Going to half?
Oh yeah. I think I get the ball first, so I'm fine.
That's why I wasn't worried about throwing the ball downfield. Well, I was trying to be conservative with it. I got a 10-point lead.
What do you guys think of Myles Garrett's contract? It's pretty long term for a defensive lineman.
Oh, Godwin's gonna catch that maybe.
I mean, he's good. He deserves it. I mean, he kind of he kind of maybe put a little dent on his reputation with the thing with Mason Rudolph. He got that money for a reason. He's been dominating since he's been in the league.
Yeah, 100%. My thing with NFL though, I don't like long-term contracts in NFL. Get paid for sure. You know what I mean? If you want to get 50. Oh, I like basketball contracts because they're basketball. I would go long-term, like LeBron. I'd easily sign LeBron to like 15 years if I
I
could.
think though the way basketball is, if you sign a long-term deal, you're not gonna make as much money. Actually.
True, 100%. But then,
LeBron's been doing 1-year deals like the last like 8-9 seasons.
100%. But my thing, I think that's the way it should be in football because football, what I think the average career lasts like what 18 games or something or pardon
3 to 5 seasons.
3 to 5.
The average NFL span for any average player, period, regardless of position.
But that's if you make the team, right? Because I know, like, including everyone that just goes to training camp, then it's like one. I don't know. It's something small, anyways. But maybe it's 35 as well. But point is, that's not a long career, right? Let's say you start at 23 and you're retired at 26.
But I get it. But I'm saying there's a reason why like they want the long-term deals because the guarantee in the NBA, like the guarantee in NFL, like it's guaranteed. Like
100%.
so, especially like for a position like running backs get swapped out every like 3-4 years. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Like Gurley, man.
Prime is only gonna last like 5-6 seasons.
Yeah. So if you're being like a fan or in the player mindset, obviously you want your guy to get locked up. Get
Right.
paid. But if you're thinking on the business side of things, like my favorite player is Edelman, and I don't know how he's still alive with all those concussions getting hit in the middle. Oh,
I don't know how that happened.
is that in?
No, I got him at the one.
That's the one.
But you know what I mean? Like guys like that, like a one concussion can ruin the career, right? In football, because they're just getting like hit by trains all the time. So that's why I'm a little like Patrick Mahomes, amazing, like generational talent, but that's a big contract.
I mean, he's the only person ever to have a contract like that.
Yeah, 100%. But the thing is, though, did you see that quote where he's like, "Oh, I called Chris Jones and I told him I left him some money on the table." Doesn't look like he did in my eyes.
What?
Like obviously, Chris.
So I feel like the way it's gonna happen, like he's gonna naturally restructure the deal, like after a while. You know what I'm saying?
Really? Because I heard his deal is like based on the cap.
It is, and that changes like every year or two.
Yeah, but like I don't. Obviously, like
Brady, he's like restructuring his contract all the time.
But then again, like he. So I agree with that, and being a Brady fan, I think there was like one year, a couple of years ago, he was like making $9 million, and I don't know. I think if Mahomes wanted to kind of restructure, maybe now he's kind of make sure he gets that money just safe, but I don't know. I think I can see like Kansas City just ends up being like well, they basically already are like a gunning team. They had a good defense this year, or decent enough. That
They defense not that good. It's just like they kind of
got it worse.
I mean, if you've seen every single playoff game, they was behind every single one.
Well, that's what I mean. They're like a run and gun team. Like they're just gunslingers, right? Like he's just chucking the ball. They're just trying to outscore people. I think it's only going to become more and more like that. Like the way that the Chiefs need to continue is basically just continuously like drafting young talent. So what they got like a running back this year. I think they may have got receiver 1 or 2, something like that. They basically just got to continue doing that because they're never going to be able to like keep top guys there because of the money that's out.
Oh, pick that.
They're making me feel so consistent.
Ryan, is there a reason here why you picked Tampa?
I guess twofold. Besides being my favorite football team, I just accepted an assistantship to go work at Raymond James Stadium for about 10 months. So I'm really excited for that. So it's a little twofold. I always play with the Bucks, but I had to definitely represent tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw your post, so congrats on that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a long process because everything just gets delayed with COVID.
Mhm.
I had to wait a month to even interview. It's like back in
Wow.
first week of May, they said that they wanted to schedule me for a first round interview, and then it was literally they're like, oh, it'll be 10 days once everybody gets back in the office from COVID. And Florida was starting to open up at that time, and then it was not till like 4 or 5 weeks later that we actually got to get the first interview in. But
Wait,
yeah, it was pretty good.
Florida's offices have opened. Not to kind of, we'll get back to this, but Florida's offices have opened up.
Yeah, everything's pretty. They had to close the bars and a lot of the social activities back down.
Yeah.
But like back in May, I mean, we were one of the first states which at the time we were all just like, oh yeah, it's Florida, it's hot outside, so of course we're not gonna get the virus or anything. And I mean, not really us. Well, a lot of people, and then also, I mean, our governor literally opened everything back up after like maybe a month of shutting things down, and I mean that's partly why we um, are where we're at right now
Yeah.
with rising cases. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people, most people are in offices. I think like my dad works for the school district of my hometown, and everybody's kind of back in the school district offices, and they've been back for a little bit.
Wow.
So yeah, they've been back for like a month, I want to say.
We
Over there.
we had a second wave. I don't want not to do this or anything, but in our city it's a second wave. But then when you look at the states, it probably isn't even. Like we didn't have any cases for almost like a week. Now we're at 40, and it's like we still haven't even opened up completely. Like offices aren't open yet.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, that's the smart thing. I mean, we definitely have been doing something wrong, but for the amount of cases, and it's been interesting. My older sister just flew to Korea. She's going to teach at an international school for like 2 years there,
nice.
and they're very low in cases. And she had to do so many like forms and like testing and stuff just to be able to fly over there. So it's like we could have done stuff, but oh well.
100%. Ryan, yeah, are you gonna take this game from Kenny here?
Who knows? This is a close one.
Kenny, what do you think?
A nice, good matchup. This is what I like for Madden.
Kenny, what'd you say? You cut out.
I said I need my safety to get his awareness up. That should
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't think that there's like I think it's too inconsistent with like stuff like that. Like that one was close. I honestly thought it was gonna be interceptions as it wasn't like to Mike or Chris Godwin. As soon as I threw it, I was like, crap. But like I think that or like the times that you just throw it and there's like two people and then the ball goes like 20 feet in the air after a ricochet.
realistic.
It's probably just to make the game more enjoyable to get interceptions.
I'm putting him in the right position. Just make the play. Well, I mean, that was a stop. That was a good stop.
Well, this is to tie it, right?
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I want to go for it, but I'm not trying to do the. When I'm losing, if I lose a game or if I'm on a bad streak, I'll definitely will go for that. I definitely play frustrated sometimes after losing.
What? Oh, so the game can come down to this drive here.
Yeah, it could.
Man, my nose is still itching from how far that swab went up the nose for the testing. And this, I swear, obviously they didn't touch my brain, but man, it went far where this eye out of nowhere just started like crying. It was nuts, man. That's the lady's like, "Have you done it before?" I'm like, "Nope." And then she's like, "Oh, okay, people don't come back." Ooh.
Those safeties didn't do anything, but that was a good play.
Yeah.
We don't have a good secondary.
What do you guys think of Odell in terms of play?
10.
Pardon?
He's top 10.
He's gotta stay healthy.
It would be hard. If he's top 5, he would be my 5th. Me personally.
Who's top 5? Who's number 1 at least?
Mike Thomas.
Okay, so let's do 3 at least. Cut out.
Julio Jones. Oh, DeAndre Hopkins is number 2.
Yeah.
Mike Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones.
Julio's like up and down, I find. Obviously, he's dominant, but his statistics.
I promise you, it's Matt Ryan. I'm telling you, it's Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Also, his statistics are misleading. I remember a year or 2 ago, he didn't have a touchdown until the
Yeah.
8th week of the season, yet he was still turning yards.
As a rookie.
Pardon?
Calvin Ridley, that was Calvin Ridley's rookie year. He had more touchdowns than him halfway into the season.
Yeah. Who's let's finish off your top 5 here. What's your 4?
Oh my goodness. Is it Mike Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio? I'm still putting Antonio Brown, even though he's not in the league, because Antonio Brown is nice.
He's crazy. Did you see the Mike Evans and Keenan Allen beef? Where would you put those guys?
That's what I'm saying. Like, those are all the guys that, like, him, Odell, them 2 are all like fighting for that 5th.
Yeah, and I know I'm biased. I would have Mike in my top 5, but I mean, and the crazy thing about Mike is he's been very consistent. I mean, I think it's either 5 or 6 straight years with 100
receptions,
100 or 1,000 yards receiving. Like every year in the league, he's had 1,000. But he does have to get better at times catching. He has been somewhat inconsistent, but like each year.
What about Tyreek Hill? Do you guys put him in the top 10?
I don't know. That's tough.
Kenny?
But
Tyreek? Where'd you put him?
as a top receiver,
Would you put him in 10, I meant. Would you put him top 10? Or top 15, I guess?
the way that I need my team to be designated, yeah, I would have to, because he's just too fast. He literally that's a problem for any team that they play.
100%.
Thank you. Oh, wow. Wow. I guess that was a safe throw.
Yeah, I had to aim it that way.
We caught it out of bounds.
What y'all think about Jamal Adams going to the Seahawks?
I don't know, man. I think it's good for the Seahawks, but that's one thing I don't like about the NFL. Obviously, if a player wants to get traded, gets traded, but I don't know. Like, pardon?
I think people actually vocalize how they want to get traded. They end up making sure that they go to the worst possible situation for the player. Like, I don't know. Like, the whole thing with
You don't like his fit with the Seahawks?
oh no, I'm not saying. I'm just talking about not just specifically his situation. I'm talking about like other people, like maybe like the Jalen Ramsey situation. That one got kind of ugly.
What, to the Rams?
Yeah, but my thing is though, Jalen Ramsey didn't really technically want to leave. It was his relationship with the front office.
Well, didn't he always say he wanted to go to Cali though? Like he always wanted to go play.
I don't know. I don't remember that.
I think I've seen that. It was in a podcast. I listen to way too many podcasts. Shout out to my podcast. They're out on all major platforms.
NFL athletes don't really have a lot of power with determining where they go. Like especially like basketball players. If a basketball player want to leave, he gonna leave.
Well, I don't know. See, you're saying that, but like my issue with the NFL and trade. First off, I hate NFL trades. How's a starting player getting how are you trading a starter for a 6th rounder? Obviously, I know. Pardon?
It's really about the talent level that they possess. Like
I know, but like what? Like what did Antonio Brown get traded for? Wasn't it like 5th or something? It was like nothing.
That's because he was just like I said. At that point, the thing had become so toxic. They just wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah, but like there's other trades. So obviously, I know NFL. The way the draft works, and there's such huge rosters, you can end up getting like a linebacker in the 5th round that ends up starting for you the next season.
That's the thing about the draft. You never know. People projected places. Like Russell Wilson, he was a 4th round draft pick. He was the 3rd string starting quarterback during the training camp. By the time the season started, he was the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, same thing.
I've never liked Dak Prescott. I don't like him as a quarterback. I don't find he's accurate enough.
He's a game manager.
Yes.
He's a tier above a game manager.
Yeah, so I think he commands the offense. Oh, it's tied. Does it go automatically overtime? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree. I think he definitely, field general, takes the team down the field. But, man, he does not throw a nice ball. Obviously you want a quarterback that can lead the team down the field, but, I want a guy that can, pinpoint, boom, bullet in somebody's hands. He's throwing, muffins.
You want to Drew Brees.
Yeah. Even, to be honest, what was I watching today? I saw Lamar Jackson throw something today, and people have said things about his throwing. If you can throw a tight spiral, I like you, because that's a higher chance of getting accurate. Have you ever seen this video? I'm all over the place, but Dak Prescott, he's at some Adidas event, and I think it was David Carr, the retired brother, with the NFL Network, and they're doing target practice. David Carr goes first, hits every target, 5 for 5. Dak Prescott couldn't even hit one. It was embarrassing. Where would you put Dak as quarterback? Top 15, bottom 15?
That'd be top 15.
Top 10.
Here's the thing. I really do believe he's good. People write him off for more. He has more, you know what I'm saying, wins than a lot of quarterbacks. Since he's been in the league, there's only been one quarterback that's won more games.
See, but my issue with stats like that is Zeke's crazy. You know what I mean?
Right. My thing is that's also why the Cowboys didn't give Zeke the ball, to me in my eyes, that much. They wanted to see how Dak Prescott was worth, and he ended up he was the quarterback of the number one offense in the league.
Yeah. So I don't want to keep going against him or anything, but
yeah.
I think because in the NFL, obviously it's a huge team game, right? We were kind of touching on the start, but NBA, you get a star player, boom, you're going far. But the NFL, since there's so many guys, and everyone's talented enough, but I find O-line is so important because a lot of guys can throw the ball well, they can throw it accurately. They're going through these huge college programs like both of you guys have, and that's basically pro ball in my eyes almost compared to us here. But if you have a good protection, a lot of guys just need time and space, right? And O-line, or Dallas has a great O-line as well, so that's my thing.
And Jerry Jones almost blew that one. No, he did. He really wanted to draft Johnny Manziel instead of Zach Martin. He really did.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel just that was just a mess.
Yeah. Now he's a athletic sponsor for Direct Auto Insurance.
Really?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
He's loaded though, but that's the thing with him. He never cared.
Oh no, never. It was football. Legit was really a game thing.
Oh yeah, this is a way to kind of feed his party lifestyle, to kind of go to the bigger, better parties. What do you think of the Cowboys pick this year?
Trust me, I've seen him firsthand, so I already know how he CeeDee Lamb is nobody to play with.
I don't know how not anyone who's goes to a program like Alabama, obviously you're talented, but I don't know how Ruggs went ahead. The Raiders, man, they did some questionable picks.
I mean, I gotta look more into it. It's really all about the scheme, really.
See, and that's why Kenny's gonna go into player development, and I'm not. Kenny asks questions like that. I don't. But is this to win it?
Yeah.
How far are you? Oh,
54.
How'd you do that?
I can't hit that.
That go in?
Yeah. That is so hard when it blanks out the screen like that.
Oh yeah, I iced you.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So he called a timeout right before I was going to kick it,
Okay.
and since it was a pressure moment, obviously in the NFL they try to make it realistic. So when I click my power at the top, because I click X for the power, when it starts to come back down and I have to click it in the right spot for accuracy, it takes it away. So you basically are guessing blind the timing. So you can't really see. You're just gonna have to like literally just guess, unless you're really good at like reading how fast it is in like the 2 seconds of a certain.
I can't even hit a 30-yard field goal in this game. But that's crazy. So wait, Ryan won?
He won.
27.
Yeah.
Well, congrats, Ryan. That's it for round 3, I guess. That's what an odd way to finish it.
That was a good one.
But yeah, Kenny, thank you so much for being a part of it. Yes, it's some great conversation. Definitely some of the better. No offense to anyone. Like interesting conversation. Pardon, Kenny?
I'm kind of talkative, so.
No. Well, hey, look, that's all blessings in my eyes on something like this. I remember there's one stream. I was, hey, like, tell me about yourself, and someone's like, hey, can you come back to me? I was like, oh, come on, man, like, you just gotta.
Yeah, there's more for the social, like just meeting and networking, like not really as much the game, at least in my opinion.
100%. Yeah, you know what? Don't wanna kind of go into it too much more. You know, don't want to waste your nights, but not waste your night because half the world's watching this. So fantastic.
Yeah, we got 4 billion, right?
4 billion. Actually, it's 4.1 today. So shout out to you guys. You know, we didn't, unlike the first few streams. If you want to get to know more about Ryan or Kenny, just go back onto the YouTube channel or Twitch. You can find them to kind of break down their story, what they're studying, what they want to do in their career. But if you want to add them on LinkedIn as well, we have our full names. Actually, here, let me fix them because you can't see your names completely. There. So now, here you have Ryan over here, you have my name over here, and then you have Kenny in his bottom left corner. So just type those names into LinkedIn if you want to get connected with one of us, or offer some jobs, because Kenny will take over the Browns. Kenny, if you take over the Browns, don't forget. Hey, don't forget. I need tickets. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Really, I loved having you guys on. Some great conversation. And if you ever want to get connected, or Kenny, if you want to join a future stream, because we only have a few left. Actually, we only have 3 left. But if you want to come on board, maybe when Ryan's playing, because Ryan's going to be playing Madden on Wednesday, the 29th. Well, by all means. That's it. So with that, Ryan's one step closer to getting the $500 Living Sport scholarship, and that's $500 US. So I know Canadian streamers were asking about that. They're like, hey, is it Canadian US? Because that's a big deal for us up here.
Is US better?
Yeah.
Is US probably better?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know though.
Yeah.
That's
that's the one thing you'll learn every day with Chris on these streams. But anyways, do you guys have anything else you want to kind of spit out there or shoot out there? Like, follow me here. I want to do this.
Like Chris said, just follow us on. If anybody's out there and wants to follow us on LinkedIn or Instagram or anything like that, I'm always happy to connect and reach out with people. So, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's it for tonight. Shout out to Living Sport for being the presenting sponsor, and that's it for round 3 of Nascimento Marketing's 32 Blitz, presented by Living Sport. On Wednesday, we'll be having Ryan, so Florida versus Penn State, playing Madden. And then on Thursday, we'll be having the Canadian Finals, York versus Ryerson, on Madden as well, I believe. But, Ryan, if you win, we might have a curveball here and have you guys play rugby or Olympics or something, just to make it interesting.
Rugby.
I don't know, man. I'm going to find something weird because now people are getting too confident with these gaming. So. Anyways, but that's it for tonight, guys. I appreciate it. If you ever want to hit me up, by all means, please do so.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right. Good night, guys.